All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started on a Facebook Live, kind of updating folks about the severe weather situation potentially that could unfold through the rest of the afternoon. Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd inside the NBC 10 Fox 14 Weather Center, keeping you updated with what's unfolding through the afternoon. First wave of showers and storms have already moved through with the morning hour activities that obviously dumped some pretty small hail, but quite frequent hail across portions of Richland Parish. We had a lot of those reports from earlier in the day. You take a look at the rest of the radar loop over the last hour. Last of the strongest storms actually were moving through portions of Madison Parish here in the last, I would say 20 to 30 minutes, and have moved into adjacent sections of western Mississippi. But we're also still seeing clusters of storms south of the I-20 corridor. Most of this is fairly scattered, but we do have some occasional lightning strikes with them, maybe even some heavier downpours or some small hail. But the plus side to what we've seen so far today is the fact that a lot of this activity has quite frankly been stabilized by the showers and storms that we ran into this morning. With the small hail and the heavy rainfall and the clusters of storms that have moved through, we usually say that it kind of worked over the atmosphere. It's really used a lot of the moisture and the instability that we had to start the day. So what we're waiting on later this afternoon is for the air to warm up farther westward and for some of this additional development across the I-49 corridor and back into portions of eastern Texas to perhaps spill our direction and kind of provide a resurgence to that severe weather threat. The big issue, though, is there hasn't been a whole lot of activity in eastern Texas and western Louisiana, and really a lot of that is because of what we're seeing to our south. Now, of course, this is the live storm tracker Doppler radar, so we're kind of looking well out of the radar range at times. In fact, I'll go ahead and switch back over to the Fort Polk radar so you can get a better look at what's going on generally to our south, and that's what's really kept the thunderstorms out of our hair, at least the widespread severe weather out of our hair so far today, is the flash flooding and heavy thunderstorm activity we've seen along the I-10 corridor. And for all intents and purposes, at least for the time being, that's gobbled up the best ingredients to keep thunderstorm activity limited in our area. So that's the kind of the plus side to what we've run into over the last couple of hours. The severe weather outlook is as follows. The slight risk has been pushed much farther southward. In fact, far northwestern counties and parishes for far northwestern counties in South Arkansas have been trimmed out of that marginal risk area, but everyone else, marginal risk across South Arkansas and into northern and northeastern Louisiana, slight risk as you move toward the I-20 corridor. The main concern for this slight risk area is for hail potential at this point. The tornadic activity expected to stay off to our south, or at least the tornadic threat will more than likely stay off to our south. So I'll go back to the radar, and again, you can see the more intense thunderstorm activity in those particular areas, and that's really kind of lined up those spots for the best ingredients for strong to severe thunderstorms as we continue through the remainder of the afternoon and evening. But again, still can't mention it and stress it enough that folks need to remain on alert to rapidly changing weather conditions in our area as we continue through the remainder of the afternoon. So I'm going to step out of the way and we're going to switch over. I'm going to hop over into the Weather Center just in a second, and we can take a closer look at some of your questions and try to answer a couple of them very quickly. I don't want to take up too much time just so we can allow folks across the region to maybe go back and re-watch this for some of the latest information as far as severe weather activity is concerned. So I'm going to switch back over to the Weather Center, take a quick glance at maybe some of the Facebook Live comments that we've had, but at this point, most locations are going to continue to keep an eye on this severe weather threat as we progress through the rest of the morning hours. So again, most spots more than likely won't run into widespread severe weather threats. It looks like it's going to be more isolated as we work through the rest of the afternoon and evening. And again, I'm just kind of scrolling through comments right here to kind of give us an idea of what folks are looking for. And yeah, at this point, most folks are just really grateful that we're not running into severe weather threats so far. So that's a little bit of good news. No big questions, at least at this point. For folks that are just joining us, again, go back and rewatch this video if you have any questions. But again, the severe weather threat for our area looks to be fairly isolated. The hail threat is our primary concern here in the short term. An isolated damaging wind gust can't be completely ruled out. No watches have been issued for our area. There are no active warnings for our area as of 2:40 2:45 this afternoon, and really at this point nothing on radar indicating that a severe thunderstorm could develop here in the short term. So a little bit of good news going into the late afternoon hours and early evening. We'll continue to keep an eye on this developing situation as we progress through the rest of the afternoon. Again, the threat continues to stay focused mainly now across North Louisiana and even more so across the southern portions of Louisiana as we progress through the rest of the afternoon and evening. Stay tuned to NBC 10 and Fox 14. Continue to check our Facebook page and we'll keep you updated with the latest severe weather threats. We will leave you with a radar loop so you can take a look at that for the next little bit as we wrap things up. We'll continue to keep you updated through the rest of the day.